إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونشكره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المضل ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ولا مثيل ولا بداية ولا نهاية له أين العين فلا عين له كيف الكيف فلا كيف له ليس كمثله شيء وهو السميع البصير وأشهد أن سيدنا وعظيمنا وقائدنا وقرة أعيننا محمد عبده ورسوله وصفيه وخليله بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وجزاه الله خيرا عنا ما جزى نبيا من أنبيائه صلوات الله عليه وعلى كل نبي أرسله عباد الله أوصي نفسي وإياكم بتقوى الله العلي العظيم يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى إن الشيطان عدو لكم فاتخذوه عدوا وقال تعالى فلا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان. Praise be to Allah, to the creator of the world, and I bear witness there is absolutely nothing worthy to be worshipped except Allah, the creator. To follow the commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all places, in all circumstances. The verses I recited, Allah reminded us and said, the devil is the declared enemy of you. He declared war on us. إن الشيطان عدو لكم فاتخذوه عدوا. Yes, we have to declare war on the devil against his old technique and tribulation. I didn't know the reality of so-called Halloween, which is a few days the vast majority of members of the community is celebrating this day. Islam, how does Halloween sees as introduction to my khutbah? When I came into this country about 40 years ago, I arrived on 30th of October, and I have no idea, I didn't know what this Halloween is all about. I was in downtown DC when I was arriving in the hotel. Most of you know downtown. And then the next day I wake up, I saw all kind of satanic dress and all what you see today. I said, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Where did I came? What is this? And I didn't know, then I studied. So initially the idea of Halloween is coming from remembrance of the dead. Partially it has nothing, there is no problem in remembering your loved one who died before us. In fact, in Islam, constantly we are reminded that remembering death is our way of life, remembering all the time. But corporate America changed it to business, as you know, selling their candies and pumpkin and so forth and so on. In a nutshell, Islam has nothing to do with Halloween. Do not celebrate, we do not celebrate it, period. If your children love candies, buy them after Halloween and feed them with candies if you choose to do that. Now, after this brief introduction to my khutbah, what are we seeing? The horrific bombardment in Palestine. As a Muslim, every Muslim, we feel that pain and the suffering of fellow Muslims in Palestine. Why? In a broad daylight, Muslims being slaughtered day in and day out. And the media is absolutely biased. The vast majority of Western media, including in the United States, are so biased and did not reflect the truth, what is going on. What is going on? Why Muslims are slaughtered? This is a declaration of war on Islam. It's not on Palestine alone. Make no mistake about it. Quds is the land of Muslims and love equally with the way we love Mecca and Medina. It is in the heart of every Muslim, Quds. Quds is the land of Muslims. The Crusaders, they tried it in the past, they were defeated by Sultan Salahadin al-Ayyubi and after. Then they changed their heart and came in Britain and installed in the Muslim land the Jews. Ever since close to a century, the Muslims are suffering in Palestine. What are the root causes of these problems in Islam? How do we go about solving this problem? What do we need to do? What is our role as Muslims? And I will share some light based on the hadith and the teaching of the Quran, the teaching of the Quran, Jalla Jalaluhu. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إن الناس قد جمعوا لكم فاخشوهم. People are trying to get you, to hurt you, to eliminate you on the face of earth from your existence. فزادهم إيمانا فقالوا حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. This frightening news. A Muslim actually increases his iman. Not other way around. إن الناس قد جمعوا لكم فاخشوهم. People are here to hurt you, to get you, to eliminate you, your existence. That should actually, to the good believer, fill the iman. فزادهم إيمانا فقالوا حسبنا الله ونعم فانقلبوا فانقلبوا instantaneously. Allah will change the circumstances. Allah to change our circumstances, we need to change our circumstances. إن الله لا يغير ما بقوم. Nida, a challenge to all of us. إن الله لا يغير ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم. Unless you change your circumstances from disobedient to obedient. They attach from the dunya to the love of akhirah. From injustices to justice. Don't be a dhalimin. Islam doesn't call for injustice. Islam calls for justice. Every Friday around the world, the Khutbaha says in the second part of the khutbah, Inna Allah ya'muru bil adli. Allah order was justice. Inna Allah ya'muru bil adli wal ihsani. Be kindness is our way of life. Being kindness is our way of life. Let alone to the human being, even the animal we slaughtered, we are told and instructed to be kind to the sheep that we slaughtered. You don't show the knife that you are slaughtering the sheep. Don't terrorize the animal is Islamic teaching. Those past rulers who tried to eliminate the Muslims and Islams are many. Started from Crusaders and afters. You remember the Mongolians. Go check out the history. Genghis Khan, the leader of Mongolia, who want to terrorize the Muslims, whom actually ISIS is picking up his terrorizing tactic from Genghis Khan, not from Islam. This is a product of the West. Yet, you label and painting us as if ISIS has to do with Islam. It has nothing to do with Islamic teaching. From Genghis Khan's school is where they're taking this slaughtering people. Genghis Khan has done every kind of atrocity that you can think of. It did not work. He miserably failed. We, walillah alhamd, Muslims are flourishing. Every 4% of earth is today is a Muslim. We cannot, and we will not be eliminated. Make no mistake about it. If the whole group of the world will come together and they want to eradicate and eliminate the Muslims on the face of earth, I swear by Allah, wallahi thumma wallahi, they will be miserably failed. They will not be able to do so. Why did I swear? Because the Prophet ﷺ made the dua for his nation and Allah guaranteed him. He said, Oh Allah, I pray to you, my ummah, not to be eradicated by their enemies. And Allah accepted his prayer. Allahu Akbar, say Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Allah accepted his prayer. No matter how weak we are, no matter how disorganized may be, if the whole world are equipped and want to eradicate and eliminate the Muslim from the existence, from the face of earth, it is not going to happen. Make no mistake about it. Lift up your head. Lift up your head. We have nothing to do with terror. Don't be frightened of your right. By the way, if FBI or anybody knocking your door and try to interrogate and question you, don't be afraid. Know your right. You say, absolutely, law officer, I would love to talk to you. If they come into your home, 2 a.m., 1 a.m., past midnight, don't be terrorized. Don't be frightened. Don't be freaked. Sir, how can I help you? We'd like to talk to you. By all means, you know what? Give me an appointment. I will see you with my lawyer tomorrow. That's all you have to say. Call CARE. Call Muslim organization. If you need a lawyer, we will defend you. Know your right. Lift up your head. Stay away from trouble. The solution is not violence. Our solution is not a violence. It's speaking our right. This is our country. We want nothing but justice for ourselves and for humanity. So how did we get where we are today? And I'll tell you, the Prophet clearly outlined and walked us through how we get to this point where we are. In the form of conversation, the Prophet said, alayhi salatu salam, to his companion named Thawban, كيف بك يا ثوبان إذا تداعت عليكم الأمم كدواعيكم على قصعة طعام تصيبون منه. He said, Oh Thawban, what are you going to see? There will be time coming to my ummah, the enemy of Muslims, surrounding us. When we eat back home all days, we surround around the plate and eat together. This is how they will يتكالبون. They come together to bite the Muslims. They eat the Muslims, harm the Muslims. This companion was shocked and said, أو من قلة ذاك اليوم يا نبي الله? Is that because our number will be less than the enemy of the Islam? He said, لا بل يومئذ كثيرون كغثاء السيل. Your number will be huge. You have no shortage of number. But what caused this? He said, ولكن يدخل في قلوبكم الوهن. He said, there is a disease is going to attack you, meaning the ummah, unborn generation, which is our ummah today. He said, that disease will enter into your heart and that will affect your iman. What is it? وَمَا الْوَهْنُ يَا رَسُولُ اللَّهِ. He said, what is wahan, O the Prophet of Allah? He said, حُبُّ الدُّنْيَا وَكَرَاهِيَةُ الْمَوْتِ. He said, the love of the dunya and not being prepared for the next life and journey, being questioned by Allah for our deed, that will bring you to your knees. Before this happened, let me take you a quick journey to the izzah of the ummah, the strength of the ummah, the unity of the ummah. When Tariq ibn Ziyad opened Andalus in the heart of Europe, he had the army of 7,000. He was checking the side of the enemy, what is their number? Back then there was no satellite. He sent Farras, an intelligent report, to give him an assessment what is the size of the enemy. He was told 100,000. Now Tariq ibn Ziyad is thinking 7,000 versus 100,000, what's he supposed to do? As he was thinking, he fell into sleep. He took a quick nap. He saw in dream the Prophet ﷺ saying to him, Ya Tariq, لا تتردد إنك من الفائزين. O Tariq, do not retreat back. You'll be victorious, march on. Allahu Akbar. Second, he saw Sayyidina Abu Bakr in dream with the same message. Third, he saw the same dream, Sayyidina Umar al-Khattab, in the same message. He was rest assured when he woke up. He gathered all of his army and he commanded them. And in his powerful speech, he said, أيها المسلمون, all believers, إن العدو أمامكم والبحر خلفكم. He said, the enemy is in front of you, you are about to confront. Behind you is the sea. He said, two things. إما النصر أو الشهادة. Either we are going to be mortal shuhada or we're going to get the victory, no in between. And he ordered all of the ship sink, and the war started. It did not last 1 week. The whole army of Spain was completely disintegrated, and the Muslims won that battle. As the Spain king empire was falling apart, he requested help from his Chinese counter king at the time. The Chinese king responded one thing for him. He said, ليس لدي جيش تقاتل بها المسلمون. I don't have an army to go out to fight the Muslims. إذا أراد المسلمون لقلع الجبال لقلعوه. If the Muslims want to move the mountain, they move. I'm sorry, I have nothing to offer you. He saw him falling apart. So Andalus was in the heart of the Muslim, in the hand of the Muslim for about 800 years. Why did we lose? What happened? That disease entered into the heart of the Muslims. Now we've fallen apart. We did not wake up when Andalus fallen. Then 1948, Palestine was lost. We did not wake up. Then 1956 and then 76. He continued going on until now. Wake up. Wake up, Ya Muslimun. Wake up. If you care for the victory and for the nusra of Muslims, as the Quran said, change yourself. Change yourself from bad to good. There are three groups of people in the world today. When they see the munkar, one group of people whom I call them passive, who do nothing, who are majority silent. Oh, I know this is a problem. Yeah, they talk about it. They don't do nothing about it. You are part of the problem. If you are in that category, if majority is silent and do nothing, and you think that problem is not going to visit you, it's not going to touch you, then you are wrong. You're going to pay the price. You are part of the problem. Don't be among the first group. Passive. Don't be passive. Number two, I call them ER, emotionally responsive. They will see the devastation or whatever the munkar. The answer is, I am going to blow up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You are part of major problem. You are part of major problem. Our answer is not a violence. Our answer is not violence. Violence will not bring you a solution nor the security. The Israelis machineries, with all they deployed, killing over close to 100 years, arresting all technology, did they get the security they want? Did they get really security they want? Did they have a peace of mind they want? They did not. So it did not work. It did not work. It's not going to work. So emotionally responsive, the second category, is not going to work. The third category, which you and I, we all need to be is, I call it 2R. Responsively responsive. Feel the responsibility of any given munkar and batil, say this is not right. And study the problem. Engage with civility discussion. Sort out the solution toward any given problem, toward the solution. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, let me draw your attention. Some of the evangelist Christians, they try to make it this is like a religious case for the atrocity and coverage and carnage of the Zionists against the Palestinian civilian women and children by saying we are protecting the birthplace of Prophet Jesus, Prophet Isa. Who in the world, the Muslim, have a problem with Prophet Jesus? Prophet Jesus is our prophet. His mother is our beloved mother. Mary or Maryam is a Muslimah. As a matter of fact, we have a verse in the Quran that dedicated to her name, Surah Maryam. Who gave hard time to Prophet Solomon, the Zionists of today, their ancestors? Who gave hard time to Prophet Musa alayhi salam, the Zionists today, their ancestors, who end up in exile in Egypt? Prophet Musa is a Muslim. Prophet Isa is a Muslim. Prophet Yaqub is a Muslim. Prophet Ibrahim is a Muslim. Allah said in the Quran, لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله. We do not differentiate among these great prophets of Allah. So we have no problem with these great prophets of Islam. They are all Muslims. So the religious card they are trying to play, it is not going to work for their crime. This is unacceptable crime. Millions of people rejecting this. Many Israelis who are open-minded, rejecting the carnage of the Palestinian children and women, and demonstrating in thousands around the world, rejecting, saying not in our name, meaning not in the Jewish name. The Zionist is a problem, chronicle problems. This big, greedy corporate people around the world, they are looting the resources of developing countries after countries, going after the gas and oil and resources, and then install puppet government. Many of their puppet government is falling apart. People are awakening to these injustices that are spreading like a wind around the world. Today, thanks to the social media, a lot of people are start to awakening and well informed. If you see any European big and small cities, people are screaming and demonstrating to demanding for justice. The coward, the Israeli government defense minister, publicly, without hesitation, he said we cut off water, light, basic food, whatever they need, siege. What does that mean? And asking them to evacuate within 24 hours, go to the south. Yet, when they go to the south, they're still being bombed. This is unjust. This is their land, where they want to go. So it did not work, all this tactic and intimidation and killing and arresting. What they need to try to see, stop, think through, and come up with a practical fairness to everybody. Two-state solution, live side by side, without killing one another, with respect and decency. That's what any ordinary citizen, open-minded, looking. Again, violence is not the answer to this crime, this barbarism. You will not fix it by going ahead and blowing up here and there and do atrocities against another civilian. 2 wrong, as I said, 3 wrong, 10 wrong, 1,000 wrong, 1 will not make it right. We have to put our houses, we have to put our lives together. There is nothing that we need to be fear of. We need to speak up to any injustices anywhere, anytime around the world. This is the basic thing. Any decent human being needs to stand up and say, enough is enough. Yes, enough is enough. We have to change the course by like-minded people come together and advocate for peace and justice around the world. It's very important to make a very clear distinction and work toward lasting and durable solution. What bringing justice is bringing peace, while bringing injustices, producing radicalism, producing murdering, producing crime and violence, and that is not the answer either. It is very clear. Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different result, it is not going to happen. We have to think through and resolve our many problems wisely and being part of the solution. Remember the 2R. We need to be part of the solution, responsibly responsive. The emotional responsive ER is not going to work. The P passive, it doesn't going to work. The 2R, responsibly responsive, is what needs to work. That is what we need to focus on. My message to you and myself, always be part of solution, do not be part of the problem. We have enough problem everywhere you go to. Don't add to the existing problem more problem. Americans are great people. America being hijacked and being looted the resources by a few handful Zionists controlling the machinery of this great country. The resources of this country being looted and the political power being hijacked, and instead of being the House representative, House voices, and they siding with the Zalimin. Why? Ask yourself why. What kind of congressman then would you like to support to send to Washington if he is not representing you and is meant to represent the truth? What kind of senator then would you elect? What kind of city council, what kind of mayor would you elect there? So you have to engage with your member of the community with issue of decency. We want for the Israeli citizens to live in peace. They deserve peace. We will not appreciate any harm to any civilian, Israelis, non-Israelis, to any human being on the face of earth. This is Islam. Let alone we are merciful to animals. The Prophet said once, "Man rabbu hadha al-jamal," and the man who owned the camel was complaining to the Prophet, Allah enabled to know the language of the animal. The camel was weeping. He said, "Man rabbu hadha al-jamal," who owns this camel? One young boy, he said, "I am from Bani Ansar." Yashkuka, he is complaining of your injustices to this animal. You made him to carry a lot of heavy load, and you deprive him in water. Why do you do that? أَلَا تَخَافَ اللَّهِ? Don't you fear Allah? مَلَّكَكَ Allah. Allah enabled you to own this animal. You are abusing it. The boy was freaked. This is the teaching of Islam. Let alone to human being. We don't like to see no civilian being taken hostage or slaughtered or killed. It is not Islam. We don't appreciate. What we appreciate is justice. You install this Zionist government on the land of the Muslims. We don't say even for them to be wiped off, but give them justice to equal right. I never forget a couple of scenery in my eyes always. One old Palestinian old man during that 48 war was saving his life, migrated to neighboring country, to Jordan. When the war is over, he had the deed for his house and the keys for his house. Imagine just yourself, put yourself into that situation. He's coming back to his home and try to enter. Now the settlers is living in his house. He said, "Sir, this is my home. This is my deed. This is the key of my house." He said, "You're beginning. This is my house." "What? This is my house." You go to court, they lose. On their own land, they build their house being demolished. What do you expect? What do you expect? Who created or who supported, who established Hamas? Themselves. To counter Fatah or to counter PLO them. Then the people appreciated the services, the protection, the only voice they have from Hamas. They ran election, they anonymously elected. So you said democracy, the people chose them. What is your problem then? What is your problem? The people chose them. So if they do injustice, pick that injustice part, the crime part talk about it. But the people duly elected them. So the American people, as used to be, they cannot be and will not be the global citizen for that matter, be misled anymore. Those is old days. Corporate America and media controlled by few is over. People now access to the social media. They get live report what is happening, the fact. When the fact start to surface, people start to detest what the media is feeding in, day in, whether CNN or other corporate media. They got to stop. They got to stop. You as a responsible citizen, you have their website, you have their director, email them. Stop this biased report that you're doing. Tell the truth, nothing but tell the truth. Speak. Speak your mind. Be part of the solution without turning to a violence. Ultimately, what works, what prevails, what we want to see is we want to see peace. In conclusion, what do we need to do? A couple of things. Number one, immediately every single Muslim listen to the advice of the Prophet and see whatever applies to you, حب الدنيا وكراهية الموت, eliminate it from your heart and your way of life completely. Not tomorrow, today, and moving forward. Start new day. If you don't pray, start to pray. If you are not fasting, do Ramadan and fast. If you don't practice a good practice in Muslim, immediately do that. If you drink in alcohol, throw that bottle away. Don't ever touch it. Period. It is not going to work for you. It is the disease in you, poisoning yourself. You're buying literally poison with your mind. Poisoning your mind. Poisoning your intellect. Alcohol does not solve your problem. It is numbing your intellect. It's not going to work for you. Drug, the same thing. Throw it away. If you are unjust to your wife, bitter, abusive to your wife, stop it. Ask forgiveness, open new life. If she is abusive to you, she needs to do that the same. Raise your children the way of Islamic way, proper way of life. Adopt those immediately. Number two, pray. Don't undermine the power of prayer. But the prayer to work, eat halal, drink halal. The Prophet said, it's not me. طيب مطعمك تكون مستجاب الدعوة. So long if you eat haram and you pray 1,000 times, your prayer is blocked. It's blocked. Why? Because you are eating haram. Why? Because you are drinking haram. I cannot afford, I'm sure you cannot afford to lose the support of Allah. Every second we need the support of Allah. Every second we need the protection of Allah. When we say, Ya Allah, you want your prayer to be listened and responded. To do that, then the prerequisite of the dua to be working is eat halal, drink halal, wear halal. Third, give handles to the madlumeen, to those who are in just suffering, whether it's Palestine or anywhere on earth. Give them the nusra. Support them financially. Support them. They don't have IMF to help them. We are their IMF. We are their brothers and sisters. Muslims are not lacking resources. We have enough resources. Give the nusra that they need. Fourth, get engaged with your community, with your law enforcement, with your public officials, and wake them up with your co-worker. Converse, talk to them what the Muslims are facing. Say this is not right. Fifth, declare war on violence. Violence, declare war. Two wrong, one will not make it right. 3 wrong, one will not make it right. 100 wrong, one will not make it right. You cannot justify violence as a solution to any injustice done to us. Let the Zalimeen commit a crime against us. Be patient. Our response will not be violence to correct their injustices. And finally, do not lose hope. Lift up your head. Remember the promise of the dua. Allah guaranteed the Prophet, No matter how they want to eliminate the Muslim in the face of earth, know that it is not going to happen. Wallahi, I swear by Allah, it is not going to happen. So lift up your head. Don't lose hope. And pray for nothing but peace and justice. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring justice for the people of Palestine, the people of Muslims everywhere. قولوا قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه يا فوز المستغفرين استغفر الله. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهدي الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ولا بداية ولا نهاية له. أين العين فلا عين له، كيف الكيف فلا كيف له، ليس كمثله شيء وهو السميع البصير. وأشهد أن سيدنا وعظيمنا وقائدنا وقرة أعيننا محمد عبده ورسوله وصفيه وخليله، بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة، فجزاه الله عنا خير ما جزى نبيا من أنبيائه صلوات الله عليه وعلى كل نبي أرسله. عباد الله، أوصي نفسي وإياكم بتقوى الله العلي العظيم. يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى في محكم التنزيل: ولا تحسبن الله غافلا عما يعمل الظالمون إنما يؤخرهم ليوم تشخص فيه الأبصار. سورة إبراهيم آية 42. Allah, to the creator of the world, and I bear witness there is absolutely nothing worthy to be worshipped except Allah. I bear witness Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is indeed his prophet and the messenger to all mankind. And the verses I recited and reminding you and remind myself, Allah revealed to our prophet saying, don't think for even a second. Allah is not aware of what is going on, the slaughters, the injustices, the zulm. Clearly Allah knows every single of it. وَنَغْذِفُ بِالْحَقِّ فَيَدْمَغُ in another ayah. وَقُلْ جَاءَ الْحَقُّ وَزَهَقَ الْبَاطِلُ إِنَّ الْبَاطِلَ كَانَ زَهُوقًا. Justice over injustice. There is no way injustice will prevail over justice. It's a matter of time. You will see every single one of human beings who committed injustice to fellow human being, he will pay the price. Even before we act doing nothing. Allah knows how to take care of those zalimin. You don't need to add to existing fire oil to blow it up. No. Be an ambassador of peace, with love, with justice. إن الله يعطي بالرفق ما لا يعطي بالعنف. Allah will give what you won't get it in being vicious. We remember what happened in Chicago. Last week I was in Chicago grieving with the community. I had an event there. We were grieving with the community, the child that was slaughtered by the landlord, most of you here. It is heart-touching. This child has nothing to do with what is going on. That shows you how ignorant is out there. So those ignorances need to teach them with love, with information, so that they will not be scared of Muslims. We, the Muslims, we have nothing to terrorize people with. What media is painting is not what the facts are. Be the ambassador of peace for yourself, your family, and Islam, and be firm and compromising when it comes to justice and right versus wrong. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us a wisdom wherever we are. عباد الله إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم ارفع البلاء عن أمة محمد. اللهم وحد صفوف أمة محمد. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك قريب مجيب الدعوات. اللهم انصر المستضعفين في فلسطين. اللهم اشف مرضاهم وعافي مبتلاهم وفك أسراهم. اللهم انصرهم نصرا عزيزا يا رب العالمين. اللهم وحد صفوف المسلمين. اللهم ارفع البلاء عن أمة محمد في كل مكان يا رب العالمين. اللهم أعطي لكل واحد منا سؤله يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم ارفع البلاء عنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم طهر قلوبنا من النفاق وأعمالنا من الرياء وألسنتنا من الكذب وأعيننا من الخيانة، فإنك تعلم خائنة الأعين وما تخفي الصدور. عباد الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. فاذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم. أقيموا الصلاة إن الصلاة كانت على المؤمنين كتابا موقوتا. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة في يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. فإذا قضيت الصلاة فانتشروا في الأرض وابتغوا من فضل الله واذكروا الله كثيرا لعلكم تفلحون. وإذا رأوا تجارة أو لهوا انفضوا إليها وتركوك قائما قل ما عند الله خير من اللهو ومن التجارة والله خير الرازقين. الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
سمع الله لمن حمده.
ربنا ولك الحمد.
الله أكبر.
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 بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
آمين.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
سمع الله لمن حمده.
ربنا ولك الحمد.
الله أكبر.
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 السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. جزاك الله خيرا الشيخ صلاح الدين.